Wilhelm Reich, a controversial figure due to his later progressions into French science, yet his early work was heavily influential in the development of psychotherapy in the 20th century. To give you an idea, his work became one of the cornerstones of Gestalt psychotherapy. Fritz Perls, the founder of Gestalt, spent 2 years studying under Reich. The methodology Perls derived spread widely across psychotherapy modalities. If you've ever used chair work, you've encountered a technique rooted in Reich's approach. As a psychoanalyst, Reich devoted himself to solving problems that psychoanalysis had not yet resolved. At the heart of the issue was a difficult question: how, when, and at what pace should interpretation be delivered effectively? And what role did resistance play in this process? He wondered why some clients experienced symptom relief, while others made no progress, even after years of what seemed like flawless textbook analysis. Reich discovered that even the most motivated clients, those who appear to cooperate fully by following the rule of free association, often harbored a deeper layer of resistance. He termed this concealed resistance. This was the resistance that clients hid beneath the surface. They censored themselves, masked disdain for the therapy and the therapists, and offered what they believed the therapists wanted to hear. Sometimes they circled endlessly, repeating the same material with no progress. Other times, therapy seemed to progress perfectly until resistance suddenly emerged, sabotaging the process and stalling treatment. Interpretations, no matter how accurate, would simply bounce off the resistance and lose their impact, even when the client seemed to accept the therapist's insights and interventions. This led Reich to an unexpected conclusion. Clients who expressed resistance openly right from the beginning were often easier to work with. These were the clients who bluntly complained that therapy was pointless or who criticized the therapist without hesitation. Through each failed or stalled analysis, Reich learned a crucial lesson. You must catch the resistance before the resistance catches you. To illustrate, in his book Character Analysis, Reich describes a typical case. One of his colleagues referred him a client he had already been working with for some time. The analysis had to be interrupted for external reasons, and Reich took over. At first, he was impressed. The client seemed unusually knowledgeable about psychoanalytic theory. He spoke fluently about intricate mechanisms he had supposedly uncovered in himself. These were the kinds of insights that normally took years of analytic work to reach. At first, Reich was struck by what the client shared, without any resistance or interruption. Eventually, he grew suspicious and asked him directly whether he truly believed his own statements. "Are you kidding? I really have to contain myself not to burst out laughing at all of this." In that moment, everything became clear. Beneath the surface, compliance was a mocking detachment, a covert cynicism toward both therapy and therapist. Reich later described this dynamic as characteristic of narcissistic clients, those who, in his words, come into therapy with a hidden chuckle. This realization pushed Reich towards a breakthrough. He developed a new method which he called character analysis, his own variation of Freudian psychoanalysis. One of his core conclusions was that the therapist should refrain from making major interpretations too early in therapy. Instead, he laid down a principle. No interpretation of meaning when the resistance interpretation is yet to come. Or as I like to put it, if you don't take care of the resistance will take care of you. I'll refer to this as Reich's principle.